on stage at South by Southwest, I announced the Barstool Difference. So the Barstool Difference, for anybody who doesn't follow us closely, used to be what people said, I would say fairly snidely, when we fucked something up. So when the tech went wrong, or we screwed up the blog, or the app used to crash, or just generally somebody does something stupid here, people would say Barstool Difference. Or the Barstool charm. And I actually think it's the Barstool Difference that made Barstool so charming, which was when we fucked up, everybody knew about it. We were talking about it. It was happening in real time. Nobody tried to hide it. And the storyline about fixing the screw up became part of the thing itself. The other way that I think Barstool is just so different from anyone else out there, I sat with a bunch of advertisers at South by this week, and the thing that they all say constantly is just how much Barstool converts, like just how powerful our audience is in buying product and doing things. And I think it's because the way we talk about things just feels more relatable, it feels more real, it feels more authentic, it's ultimately more compelling. But the Barstool Difference is really about, Dave kicked off the Barstool Fund in December 2020. In about a month's time, with about 200,000 people, we raised $50 million, which is totally unheard of. The second thing is we created a system that deployed that capital to businesses affected by COVID in a way that was more streamlined and faster, and ultimately went direct to the businesses themselves in a way that nobody else was doing. What we're now going to do is to take the Barstool Fund and kind of put it to the next level, or enter it into its next phase. And that next phase is Stoolies and fans of Barstool being able to make a difference, not just with their wallets, but with their actions. So you think about, we brought in a fantastic woman named Tanya Dressel. She's really helping us rethink the fund overall. She used to work for Steve Ballmer, built all of his social good and his endowment efforts. But what she talks about is, imagine there's a need for blood, or imagine there's a need for a social movement. The way Wallow and Gilly talk about that, the way they think about the city of Philadelphia, the way they want to help inner city youth in Philadelphia, is something that all of their fans can get behind. Yes, we can give money. Yes, we can bring ad partners to make that money work even harder or go even further. But it's also about the good of our fans. I think when you look at Barstool since the very beginning, Dave and Dan and Kevin Clancy in particular was always helping somebody. It was always a call to action. I remember being kind of blown away because they would just open their Venmos. So they would be like, hey, just Venmo me $100 and we're going to give it to a family of a firefighter, or we're going to give it to the victim of the Boston Marathon bombing. Like it was like you were giving money to a friend, and that friend was going to do something right with the money that you gave and he gave. And now we're just going to make that much bigger. So we're starting it with Work Like a Girl. So we're looking for female-run, female-owned, female-managed businesses who've been affected by COVID. I want to get behind that. All the female talent at Barstool wants to get behind it. We want to get behind it as a company to be able to help women who need help with their businesses, who've been affected by COVID, who have had unexpected hardship because of the pandemic, or that haven't resolved their hardship from the pandemic. We want to help those companies. The next group we'll do is $1 million worth of game. Wallow and Gilly will start to do things in Philadelphia targeted to Philadelphia youth. Jersey Jerry raised his hand the other day and said, hey, I'm a recovering alcoholic. Why is it that there's no scholarships to go to rehab? Like, why is it rehab's really expensive? Sometimes you got to go back to rehab, not just one time, but 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Why can't we create a scholarship program for recovering alcoholics to help them afford rehab? Chaps and Kate and Captain Cons are thinking about what would they do for military vets. So the Barstool Difference is something that I think is so woven into who we are. It started as something like most things here do, which is funny. But what we're going to do is actually make it really meaningful and make it have a lasting impact, and not just be about raising funds and giving money, but really being about showcasing the people we're trying to serve and the people who helped got them to the next place or got them to a better place. So that's the Barstool Difference.